live. Good evening. Welcome to the July 14th, 2026 Murraysville Planning Commission meeting. We please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Midal?
Here.
Mr. Carnes?
Here.
Mr. Olszewski?
Here.
Mr. Patrick?
Here.
Mr. Lemke?
Here.
Mr. Levecki?
Here.
Mrs. Hoy? Mrs. Lang?
Okay, we have minutes from May the 12th. Our last meeting. Any comments or corrections to the minutes as presented? No. I have a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we have a period for public comment. Does anyone have anything they wish to bring to the attention of the Planning Commission this evening that is not on the agenda tonight? No? Nothing good on TV tonight? You're all here? Okay, good. Okay, we have 3 public hearings. These are, well, 2 are continuation, and 1 is a new one. The first one is the public hearing for CU 126 Redwood. This is concerning the excavation of steep slopes on a 62-acre parcel off of Wilson Road. It's R3. Gentlemen, you care to continue your presentation? We asked for some items to be included last time, which I think you did. We had some residents were here had questions about what's it going to look like from my backyard kind of thing, and I think you provided some cross section. Okay, you want to explain?
So, sure. First, I have a little cheat sheet of your questions from the last time that I'd like to walk through quick, and then we'll get to those. Is that okay?
You took minutes of what we said?
No, I've made a list of what you told me.
Okay.
All right. First, there was a question to the date of the plans, whether they were dated correctly. We had that corrected, then we submitted. We had that night, or that day, delivered an updated geotech report, which has now been reviewed and approved. You asked for a detailed reforestation plan, which has been submitted. I think Mr. Patrick was asking about the amount of cut and fill. And we have 354 yards of cut.
Say again, sir?
354 yards of cut and 370 yards of fill. So in general, we balance. The cut, those calculations do not include the sewer spoil, so we'll probably be really close. Well, then there was a question about the electrical service to the homes. We had made a mistake when we were here. We have 100 amp service, not 150 amp service. And then the last item was the perspectives. And it was essentially what you will see there, and my eyes were not that great. Yeah, this will probably help.
As well.
You have larger ones? Okay, that helps.
Right. You only got one, so.
We can. You just have that.
Does anybody else?
So what we've done here with these perspectives, and as you'll see on the perspective, they're identified, which part of the property they're on. So if you look at section number 1, it is the southeast border of the property. Look at the side of building X, and you look to the neighboring rear building, we're actually 136 feet from back of buildings to building. In addition to that, we have an 18-foot grade change. So our building will be up on a hill in comparison to the house.
Okay.
And if you look at the majority of the area, you'll see the 50-foot tree preservation area. You'll see some supplemental landscaping done by us. And that is the perspective going from along Wheatland Circle right away the southeast second border of the property. We follow down to the next one, section 2. You'll see from back of building to back of building, we're actually 280 feet. In between there's a fairly significant grade differential of roughly 50 feet. The neighboring home will be 50 feet above building B. And in between there'll be slope reforestation. So, I would not expect that they would see anything. And if you go down to the next one, which is the Wilson Road, you'll see from building A, the rear to Wilson Road is 172 feet. And there'll be a detention basin in between, and there'll be some slope reforestation in between there. So it'll be a fairly heavily landscaped 172 feet. And there is a roughly a 25-foot elevation differential. And I want to make sure everybody's following me. I'm just like these drawings are.
I just caught up and found the index key on Rick. It's calling out the sections, so
Okay,
yeah.
so section 5, that's a good way to look at it. Section 5, you see along Wilson Road, building D. Building to building is the building to Wilson Road. That's 172 feet. I'm sorry, the label's not in here. From building D to Wilson Road, it's 172 feet. And you will actually see, again, supplemental evergreen plants and some slope reforestation. And then if you go to section 5, you will see from building rear to the right of way on Old William Penn, 527 feet. The vast majority of that is a wetland that we're preserving. And then on section number 6, you'll see from neighboring rear building to building 2, there's 214 feet, plus tree preservation area between them, and actually a fairly small grade change. So I think the bottom line to this is we are pretty well separated from the surrounding neighborhood, either because of 50-foot buffer that we're required to maintain, plus the, supplemental landscaping that we would add, plus in a lot of cases, some fairly steep slope that is in between us and our neighbors. And also that steep slope will be reforested, so there'll be landscaping in between. I think that's the kind of the bottom line to the, perspective.
Okay. Somewhere in your, whatever it was, it's not in this set that was just handed out, but you indicate your reforestation plan. You sort of indicate how far apart the trees are, your supplemental plantings, where they are and how far apart they are.
Can you pull the reforestation plan up? No, don't forget that on the right-hand side, if you can pull that up.
What's the nature of the soil that those trees are going to go into? You're showing a base, you're digging a well. You're going to put the trees in for the roots. What's the surrounding soil? What might its percolation be?
John, my constructor point. A lot of the soil, the first 7 feet or so, is clay, underlaid by shale and typical rock. So we're going to try to hold that clay to make sure we keep it for that top layer, replanting so the trees can grow well. But obviously that kind of hurts our percolation ability to percolate. So we do have percolation tests done in the areas where we're doing our stormwater management basins. Can't remember exactly what those tests yielded, but the majority of the site being clay, it wasn't great percolation.
I guess what I'm wondering about is basically you're making a potted plant. You're putting a tree, a bare-rooted tree, into a potted clay pot.
Seedling.
Pardon?
A seedling.
Okay, it's seedling. So I'm concerned about the survival rate, because having lived in Marysville most of my life, having tried to put bare-rooted trees, 3-inch caliper trees into big holes, didn't work so well. And so the problem is just there's no drainage, and you end up with, if you have a heavy rain, you end up with the flooding of the pond. There's no way to dissipate the water.
Right, and that's something we all struggle with, no matter where we live, that's for sure. Having the same struggle at my house. But of course, being the owners of that, speak for Redwood, but warranties on those trees and definitely making sure they're replaced if they do die. Having the vested interest to make sure they actually do grow and achieve their maximum potential.
So beyond that, we have a professional landscape architect that is licensed in this area. He will he will draw up specific specs on how trees can plant that they live. We all need it to live. I mean, I need it to live too, because I don't want a phone call from you and the trees all die, or our neighbors. So we're going to hire. We already have hired to do the report-based plan, professional landscape architect, again licensed to practice in this area, and he will draw up specific specifications for us to think. I'm not a landscape guy. I don't know what that means. I understand what you're saying with the pot, because actually where my own house is, we have clay. And I mean, you're right. You have issues if you don't deal with it, right? So, I mean, I think we're going to just have to trust the professionals in that and let them help us out on how to do this. But let's say we want to. I mean, problems are bad for us, bad for our image, bad for the city, bad for our wallet, and so we don't want problems.
Mr. Wozniak, I assume that the tree planting that they have proposed is part of the site plan approval. If, something dies in so many years or so, aren't they gonna have to replace it?
Yeah, based on whatever is bonded, the landscaping bonded. They maintenance bond for 18 months. Can also be written into the code. That's enforceable.
Do you have an estimated count on number of seedlings and shrubs that you're proposing
I
here?
think it is, I can't, I'm gonna get it close. It is on now.
I don't know that there's a total count.
I don't know if there's I couldn't see it count.
There's a seed and plant rate
Yeah.
based on the areas, but no, we didn't provide a total count of trees. That is certainly something we can do with the major development.
Have you approached the Westmoreland Conservation District yet?
We wanted to get through you first, if that happens. And then we have to talk about.
Okay, is there a, no, I've seen it, a existing topography plan and showing what the steep slopes are? Are they delineated anywhere?
Yes. You want usually.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. Do we have that somewhere? It's- I think this is it. Okay, so could you explain what the different shading here is?
Yes, so that's delineating the areas that are greater than, I don't remember what the bands were off the top of my head, I apologize, but the gray areas are the areas that exceed, I believe it's 4 to 1 and a 100-foot band, and those are the areas that were disturbing and triggered this conditional use permit.
Okay, so those gray areas are steeper than 25%.
The problematic areas, yes. And yes, steeper than 25%.
There's nothing greater than 40.
I believe there's a few areas, but I think those are the areas we're avoiding, and usually those are in less than 100 foot. So that's kind of, especially up in the northwest corners where those areas were.
Yeah, but they're not longer than 100 foot. Yeah, they don't fall. Okay. I'm somewhat concerned about, as you drive down Wilson Road, the ravine to your right, which is that band there that's right along Wilson Road. Is there any water running in that ravine?
According to our stream delineation, it's an erosional feature. CEC had completed that delineation, so they weren't defining it as a stream, didn't meet all the stream requirements, but an erosional feature is what they defined it as.
The DEP and the Conservation District may have difference of opinion, but we'll see how that plays out.
Yes, sir. We understand.
In your, I have not seen the soils report. Is there anything in there that says anything about the proposed slopes? What is the maximum proposed slope?
Yes, we completed slope analysis on the steepest part of our slopes. And we're able to achieve that factory tip, I believe it's 1.5 the requirement. Maximum slopes, I think the absolute maximum we have is 2.5 to 1 in the steepest areas, but generally trying to make sure we're staying under 3 to 1, getting closer to 4 to 1 if we can.
Emily or Mr. Wozniak, or are there any outstanding issues?
No.
No.
Do you have more items on your list that you went over at the meeting that you
No,
didn't
this
get
was
to?
it.
Okay, I didn't know if there was anything else.
Yeah, no, I said thanks.
So any approval recommendations we would make would be conditioned upon them providing an E&S plan, stormwater management plan, approval from the Soil Conservation Service or the DEP, and would it not also be contingent upon approval of the site plan as well?
I think all those other things would fall into the site plan, right?
Well, what we don't want to happen here is because they've gotten approval for major excavation that they go in and start digging before the whole plan's.
We know about it.
We hope so. Okay. Now, boys and girls, what do you want to do? No, we don't know anything. You want to recommend this to council in its current form? You want to table it?
I mean, being that everything is been addressed from the staff level, there's nothing outstanding. I believe they addressed everything that we brought up and all those points we made at the last meeting. I think the attempt was made to address that, so I see no reason why they can't move on to the land development site plan phase.
Okay, since this is a public hearing, I would like to see if anyone in the public has anything they would like to offer, comment. I see a lady back there with her hand up. Could you come forward, please? Well, we don't have any microphones, so you're gonna have to shout a little bit.
My name is Diane Snyder, and I'm property owner on Wilson Road. And I have a couple questions that I wanted to ask about some of the houses that look like the house that they do on the Wilson Road side, where there's the steep slope and the guardrail and the ravine that they put in. Is there a rule about existing border? When we had the last meeting, they addressed Westmoreland Farm, the border that would remain. Existing tree line would not be reforestation.
Well, if you look at the cross section number is that 4,
3 and 4.
3 and 4. They're basically proposing to fill that ravine, and everything is well, the houses are section 3. They're 172 feet away from the right of way from Wilson Road, and on section 4, not a distance. It looks like it's about the same.
My question is there going to be the existing woods? Are they going to remain in that ravine where the guardrail is? The whole top is the same one.
Yes.
And they said that's what it was for Westmoreland Farm. So is that going to be consistent around the development where there's existing houses? There's the 50-foot existing tree, not reforestation, not other landscaping that's going to leave.
There is an area of, I assume it's 50 feet that we're off of Wilson Road that you're not disturbing.
No, so
That is
on
getting
the southern,
disturbed. That is getting disturbed a lot.
yes, on the southern end, we have to disturb it with water extension. On the north, south is the guy.
Where's
So
our
section-
commons on?
Section 4, we can work to try to make sure we're not disturbing those trees. At least the 50-foot along Wilson with our bill in place if we keep the trees in place.
So what, how do you define a setback? On the top, so on the home and the property line, you're looking where the road is south of the, no, from their redwoods. From redwoods, it's 50 feet to the south. Doesn't tell you whether or not they're trees.
I would say that there's going to be trees cut down, but they're also adding trees to that.
But that's gonna mean that those houses, when you walk out the door, you're gonna see 30 feet apart. Right there. If you take that natural boundary away, if it's staying to Westmoreland Farms, when you walk out your property, that's what you're gonna see, somebody planting some trees. That's
No,
all. we're-
no, when Westmoreland Farms, there's maintaining 50-foot natural material and then adding to it.
That would really be on Wilson Road where the homes are.
I would say that probably not below where their entrance road is. I don't see how they can do that,
So they're not gonna.
not according to these plans, no.
Say some on the north side. You're talking about out here.
Gonna say that it's.
Yes.
You're gonna say 50 foot is
In this area right here.
where the houses are. Plus where the houses are, right there.
Yes, ma'am. Right here. So that's
And then what about up further? So where those are.
Ma'am,
There.
please address the planning commission with
I'm
your
sorry.
question.
I had to see that mark too. So it looks like that's only part of it. These are all the apartments that are coming in. And so where is the 50 feet right in? So that's going to be, there's a that home there. See, there's
Yes.
no homes. So right here is a home.
yes.
And so then there'll be no trees here, and there'll still be the apartment.
Will be replanted.
No, we just
Why do you have to take them out?
for grading changes to get our insurance in while we stand there.
And then is the driveway is going to be not in front of an existing homeowner's driveway? The entrance is going to have these hundreds of cars coming in and out.
I do not know what is on the other side of Wilson Road there, but I don't believe that there's a house.
Homes across here that are listed. that will, you know,
The ordinance does require driveway separation distances, so that's something we want to check, and that'll be definitely reviewed and addressed during the site plan process as well. They would have to adhere to that.
And then is the guardrail going to be one more?
The trees painted are
So how do we know, and when will we know before those 50 feet of trees?
with the
So that's not the purpose of the movement tonight. They're going to be.
Yes, let me make a comment here regarding the residents' concerns. Those areas along Wilson Road, particularly where you're filling in the ravine. I see you're showing a whole bunch of plantings with seedling. Is it possible to get some real trees along Wilson Road there? You know, some evergreens and, deciduous?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Ma'am, do you have any other questions?
About the review, I thought that
Board member will, so
where from the last existing. So the ravine will not be filled where there's a home across the street from. And the existing 50-foot border will remain, is that correct?
I would just kind of throw caution here, though, that even if those 50-foot trees are going to remain, there's a significant slope off of Wilson Road,
Right.
and those houses sit up higher. So those trees might not even block those homes, but they are planting those additional trees up at a higher elevation to attempt to screen them. That is the way I'm reading the plan. Does that make sense?
It does. The existing trees they're going to provide a buffer now. The other trees will take a long time, another lifetime to grow before they would probably block the view, but it's a step in the right direction. So we're just trying to preserve as much as we can to have the buffer between our homes and the 32 units that come up. Thank you.
Anyone else from this side? That side? No? Sir, could you give us your name and address, please?
3151 Wilson Road.
Yes, sir.
That whole area, as another one, show you where. When you start doing this, then you have to move along there, you go through the bed. How do I know that wasn't my society on the property? I know when they were building those elaborate homes up there on the hill, they had a lot of bedrooms up there, too. They were pounding on that days. And some people in lower White Bell were out there complaining about the foundations that time. So what guarantee do I have that won't happen?
Sir, could you repeat that? What do you want?
Oh, there's a lot. I said there's, that's all underground mine, the whole area, and there's bedrock on top.
Yes.
And and the area above my house, where they attempted to build those new houses, still in spot yet, they were pounding on a bedrock for days, trying to crack it. And I know some people in White Valley experienced cracks in their basements be attributed to that incessant pounding on the bedrock, trying to break it up. So what's to prevent that from happening? And also, the underground mine in there, what's to prevent any their excavation creating any mine sites in my thought?
So a couple of things. So a couple of things. Number one, for the mine, we knew there was a mine there. We have worked with the geotech. In addition, because we're uncomfortable with the whole mine concept, because it's new to us, and here in Pennsylvania, we don't have some of that in Ohio. It's more like California. We also hired a contractor to come in and drill down to 110 feet, in a minimum, to get down to the mine. These mines have already collapsed for time. The mines from the early 1900s. And so we've done the investigation. I have the opinion of our geotech that there should not be an issue. There is some rock on site that we are going to have to break up. Hopefully we're going to be able to crush it using blow base, but there is some rock on site that we're going to crush and you know, do what everybody does with rock in this area, Pennsylvania. So those are so by the belief of our geotech and the company who did the additional drilling, their opinions are safe. I mean, we've done the due diligence.
Staff, anything? Okay. You want to close this public hearing? Motion to close the public hearing?
Done with.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, and I realize we have this further on down, but since we're here, what do you want to do as far as a discussion and recommendation on this conditional use application listed under new business?
I would make a motion that we approve the conditional use application CU-1-26, the Redwood conditional use regarding excavation of the steep slopes in the 62-acre parcel.
Are there any conditions to your motion, sir?
I don't believe so. I think everything that we brought up would be addressed in the development plan, site development plan.
We're here second to Mr. Lemke's motion.
I'll second.
Any questions or discussions on the motion? No? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Yes. So when will you be submitting the rest of your application, site plans and engineers always lie.
No, I thought it was lawyers.
Them too.
Sorry. Sorry.
We were hesitant to really jump off the cliff on this until we were sure we had you guys on our side.
Well, I hate to take sides, but there's a lot more to this than what we just went through.
Of course. We're expecting.
All right. Nothing else. We'll move on to continuation of the public hearing. Proposed ordinance number, big number, 1111-26. This is to amend chapter 220 of the code and add specific requirements. This is in regard to data centers, data center accessory uses, solar energy facilities, forestry, and apiary. Mike, have you gotten input from everyone?
I think from mostly everyone, I think I've incorporated everything that was brought up, including what Emily brought me from some of the screening for some of the uses. So we discussed past couple meetings.
Any comments or?
My only comment that I would have is that the conditional use, so we have the ability to ask for things as one of these applications would come up. So I think that gives us some protection here.
It's interesting to note that this is the fracking all over again. Everybody's getting their fingers in this. The state has just passed some law, I guess, that requires them all to submit an annual report on how much water they've used, how much electricity they've used. I don't know what the hell good that is, but after the fact, but are we still the solar farms, they're still allowed, or the conditional uses in all districts?
Not all districts. It would just be B districts. And I know there was some discussion in the RR. That didn't really go very far.
So is it written that it's just in the B district?
It's right now. It's still a conditional use in RR. There's an acre.
We don't think R1 is appropriate.
Yeah, a minimum of 10 acres. There's not many parcels
No.
that it could go on.
Does anyone in the audience have any comments on this proposed ordinance change? Sir, could you give us your name and address, please?
Jerry Catilius at the 3464 Tree Line Drive. Check my copy. Copy out some written notes. Let's see, my name's Jerry Catilius. I live in Tree Line Drive. I lived across the street from Bob Brooks for about 33 or 4 years.
You can hold that again.
Thank you. And so I'm interested citizen in this topic. I do have some expertise in data centers. I got a double-A degree from the Naval Academy. On the first ship in the Navy, they had a data center. I managed it, and I worked for HP for 29 years, working with virtual infrastructure. And the last 12 years, I was at Google as a staff manager. And so high-tech racing, provision data centers around the country. Everyone knows about that, the AI. But what's happening because of the length of time it takes to provision and build them, there's a paradigm shift of the companies that are actually implementing these things. There's an article attached there too that says solution to AI's growing power demand homes. So it's saying the residential having the home top solar on rooftops is a solution, along with the smart battery energy systems and some of the computer stuff that goes into it. So, and I've worked with some. The reason I'm particularly interested, I implemented a solar system with a battery, smart battery energy system at our home. And it's amazing stuff. I've been doing this kind of stuff for a lot of years. Stuff's absolutely amazing. The real-time solar. I was sitting there this afternoon generating 10 kilowatts of electricity and using less than 1 kilowatt. So I was pumping electricity to all my neighbors and powering everything that they had there. So I think this is good stuff. As you consider updates to the ordinance, there's a couple of things in here that I asked for to consider that for residential use. I'm in an R1, 1 acre type outfit, put it up on the roof. Looks really nice asphalt. It's pretty nice. I'm not sure that you can notice it's solar. But it's permitted by right uses. We'd ask that it be included in there to say for residential, that's by right, so we don't need the same commercial that you need for a big farm. All the approvals, permits, and things. That goes through quite a bit. Actually, Ward helped me out, get some of those from West Penn and things like that. So it's a little bit onerous right now to go through that process for solar, but we'd ask that you help to simplify through this. And also the second one was for data center. For companies like it's conditional, if they apply for it to do that, say if you're going to give them conditional on zoning, that they have a potential that they could offer paybacks to citizens for these programs. It's already operating in Texas has a big setup like this. California has a big setup like this where they're using these exact devices. So what on my position is to say, hey, as long as you write the ordinance, if you could write in these capabilities, take advantage. Like you said, the House passed the regulation a month ago, the ordinance for that. And then the Federal Energy Commission, actually the week before that, they put out things saying they encourage the big utility companies to use this type of program called the VPP.
Is there anything in particular in the ordinance as presented? Have you looked at this ordinance, sir?
I haven't seen the details on it.
It's still a draft.
Cool.
Yeah.
Give you one point though. Residential and small commercial regulation.
Oh, great. Okay,
As
great.
long as it's under 100.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. No, that's great. I just wanted to raise a voice at this point in it because it really is amazing because what it does, it cuts the cost to the utilities. So that instead of this $1 billion upgrade, which right now state and federal says if they're going to upgrade the system, they have to pay for the whole utilization of it. And then mine is saying in the peak hours, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., if they tap into these houses, it can really cut that down. Those are the peaker plants, which are the most expensive.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, well, thank you.
Anyone else with any comments on this? Okay, have a motion to close the public hearing?
Second.
Second, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Again, while we're on this subject here, what do you want to do? You want to recommend this to council? In its present form? Think about it some more.
through this and see what.
Well, I think we answered the gentleman's comment there that, there's a use by right for, residential type use. I don't know.
I mean, I'm comfortable with it.
Yeah, I'm comfortable letting council have the next crack at it.
Well, I think there's some urgency here to get council to hold a public hearing, and that way we can get into the pending ordinance. Gives us protection.
I'll move that we permit the council the ordinance number 1111-26 for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Okay, next is a public hearing for CU 226, the Lynn residence steep slopes concerning excavation of steep slopes. This is on a 9.9 acre piece on Salzburg Road.
Good evening.
Evening. Give us your name and address.
Chris Ham I'm representing Cubatech at 2439 Ridge Road, South Park, Pennsylvania. The owner of the property, Tyler Flynn, is also here. This is a conditional use for some minor minimal slope grading for a single family home and driveway. Just keep on there.
Go ahead.
Yeah, there's about an 850 foot long driveway that leads back to a single family home off of Salzburg Road. We have a few areas that we do get into some of the steep slope areas. Probably the best bet is down there, the color plan with the grade. Right there. You can see there's a little bit, this site actually sits below the roadway, so when you come in, there's just a little bit on the left-hand side after we turn in. That we get into a little bit of the over 40%. There's not very much. And then there's just some patches of the over 20, between 25 and 40% leading back to driveway. As you can see, the house itself is actually all within areas under 25%. This site will also require an NPDES, so we'll be going through that process if and when you guys grant conditional.
That's on Salzburg Road, off Salzburg Road.
Yes.
So you have to get a driveway permit.
I have one.
PennDOT.
We already have one.
You already have one.
Yes, sir. We have talked initially with the conservation district concerning the NPDES process, but like I said, wanted to get the conditional use from already voted forward. Start the NPDES back.
Is there any? I believe there's some outstanding issues that the staff has brought forward.
There were, I think, 4 comments regarding the geotech. Pennsylvania's done all issued responses to all 4.
They have responded to.
Yeah, we responded back in July.
And I think those were in there, but we don't have a response yet. Our engineer who reviewed the geotech. So, in my opinion, I think that they've answered them, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
What are the proposed slopes that you're planning?
Mostly 2 to 1 in some of the areas, and then up to the around the house.
That was all allowed by the geotech.
Yeah, everything was based upon DSNR's record.
Yeah, somebody actually went out there. Pennsylvania Stolen Rock.
We did test pits and everything else out there. Actually, I believe we did an initial round of test pits back in February. Yeah. And then based upon some comments, DSNR reevaluated some of the site based on. So yeah, this is actually a little extreme sometimes for what you see for a single family home, but there is a full geotech report for this.
And you'll need an NPDES permit.
Yeah, just mostly due to it's really due to the length of the driveway and just trying to get the house back. it doesn't seem like we'll end up with a little over 3 acres of disturbed area. As you can see on that plan, we're proposing one stormwater facility. Kind of, there's a little bit of a belly there. It's a natural low spot where the driveway comes. The house will actually sit slightly above that pond, so that's where the stormwater pond. Obviously, the site's heavily wooded. We're any clearing areas of the LOD. That's one of the reasons why the property got evicted. But let's keep it as wooded as possible. I doubt from the road you'll actually be able to see very much of anything.
Because it's down.
It's down, and we aside from the driveway entrance, leaving a pretty good buffer along the road. So,
What is the slope of the driveway?
the steepest, I believe, is slightly over 10. There is a road profile in that package as well.
Okay, but you're under 50.
Okay.
Very well.
Yes, it is.
I don't have anything else.
What?
I don't have anything else.
Anyone? Okay, so first I need a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second?
Favor say aye.
Aye.
Before we vote, is there any member of the public that has any comment on this issue? All those in favor of tabling or closing the public hearing, say aye.
Aye.
And so what are we gonna do? Do we want to recommend this on the council?
Yes. Yeah, I would make a recommendation that we move CU-2-26, Lynn Residence Steep Slopes, this plan on to council.
Okay. Moving second, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
Okay, so we're all the way into the next page here. This is discussion and recommendation for S-226 Doherty subdivision plan. Minor subdivision application to subdivide 122.6 acre lot into 2 lots off of Peachtree Court. Bring that up, guys. Hold on a second, Rich, till we get it up. There you go. Okay, go ahead, sir.
I'm at Richard Jarrett, Jarrett's Design. It's Doherty's property, which is about 22 acres. 2 acres out of that, one single family. The access is off Peachtree Court. 1 entrance there. Something.
Does anybody, this is all septic systems out
We
there.
already have a quick test. Don't have.
I'm sorry, say what?
It's not been approved. Quick test.
The septic system has been approved. You need to show any of the, where the test pits
Yeah, we
are.
did check.
Yeah, there's two tests. The north and southern side.
Okay, and they've been approved.
They, I went off the soil test myself and
Any questions or discussions on this?
Pretty straightforward.
Can I have a motion to recommend approval of this to council?
I'll make a motion to recommend approval of S-2-26, the Doherty subdivision.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Good. Okay, next item is, S-326, the Jones Contracting Plan, a minor subdivision to provide 0.45 acres into 2 lots along a party wall of an existing multifamily home. We get that. There it is. Guys are getting fast now. Hey,
Good evening, everyone. My name's John Sankner, Sankner Engineering, in Donegal, Pennsylvania. Here. The purpose of this plan is just to create a subdivision of a duplex structure. And the lots that have been initially reviewed by your staff, basically comments with address. And we're just going to leave residual alone for a while for now. And I know one of the comments was the parcel of land to right of block 202 is not 66 feet wide, but we're not planning on, the Jones Plan number 1 has a lot there, residential lot, but we're not doing that. So that going to go.
staff, any comments?
No, that's
Outstanding issues on this?
Nope.
Members of planning commission?
No, so you're just basically subdividing the duplex, right? From the party wall and then creating, so there'll be 3 total lots. 1 for each duplex and then the remaining property, which has access to Dunning Avenue.
This is public sewers. Okay, anyone have going to make a motion, a recommendation to council?
Anybody else want to tell?
You're good.
You're good.
I'll make a motion that we recommend Jones Contracting Plan S-3-26 for approval and move on to council.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Good
Thank
luck.
you very much, everyone.
Thank you very much.
I'm trying to make a motion to adjourn. We get up the S-426 and S-526.
Didn't go and drop off.
How you doing, John?
I'm good, sir. I'm glad to see they let you out every once in a while.
Yes. This special occasion.
The world's best and oldest engineer.
Yes.
Just saying. He started it. It's gonna be a long night. Getting my
He is, yes. He said he turned something. Get it, drop off.
football one.
Yes.
Dog. Still good eyesight.
Mike looking for the,
He didn't drag his drawings into the Dropbox.
Just to move it. I'd be okay.
They left the play first before they did this something.
let's do the, leave
You can toss the
I think what's happening is they're going to consolidate these two and then let's take a meeting. Oh, this is control. Yeah. Find out.
We put it in the hospital time rest people.
I don't think the doctors are trying to get on the
Hey, we're done.
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah. I told my wife I was like,
You got it.
Got it?
what's that?
Okay, John, you want to explain to us what you're doing here?
Yeah, so you did all that. This is easy. This is easy. Okay, so my name is John Swearingen with Farringer McCarty Gray. With me this evening is my client and the applicant, Nick Subich. Nick currently lives in Murraysville, but is planning on moving on to a property in the state. his kingdom. So to speak. So this first, what number are we here? S426, Subich and Connors. This is a very simple one. This is a case where Mr. Subich is going to convey over 5.1 acres of his land over to John Connors, which resides at 4605 Ashbaugh. A very simple addition to Connors' property.
Just a lot line.
It's a lot line revision. And I'll explain a little bit more why here.
So the 5.1 is going to Connor. That what?
Correct.
Anybody have a problem with this? Questions, comments? Staff, everything in order on this?
Yeah, no outstanding comments. Just it was over the 2 acre minimum, so that's good to bring it.
Chris, you're gonna make a motion?
Oh,
You're on a roll.
I make a motion to recommend the Subich and Connors lot line revision subdivision plan S-4-26 on the council with that recommendation for approval.
Second, all right. Questions or comments on the motion? Not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Okay, John, what's the next one?
Okay, so S526, a little more convoluted, still fairly simple. It's just a little bit messier. Ultimately, it'll be a lot cleaner once this is undertaken. So, whereas Subich and Connors with just 2 parcels involved, this one actually Subich and Doherty has 5 parcels involved. The good news is consolidation, so ultimately it'll be less parcel once the subdivision and consolidation takes place. So 5 parcels involved, 5150 Maymont, Subich's property. 5160 Maymont, which has a house right on, it's got some blue down along Maymont there. That is actually also Subich. We have 4605 Ashbaugh, which is Mr. Connors. That parcel abuts Mr. Connors' parcel, just basically due east of his larger parcel. We have 5593 Saltburg, which is Doherty, which is the large parcel to the right on the plan. And we have an unaddressed lot behind 5150. Can't point to it, but it's, yeah, that one right there, which was landlocked, but will no longer be landlocked with this action. Okay, so the gist of it is Mr. Subich would like to build his family home on the 5150 property. He wants to basically, to be blunt, control his surroundings and keep it as Mother Nature intended it. There are 2 beautiful ponds on 5150 he's going to keep and enhance. There's trails that are on 5150 and the adjoining properties that we're adding on to this parcel. He's going to utilize those with himself and his family. He also wants opportunities to fish and hunt on his own property. That's the intent of this subdivision, and consolidation. Ultimately, what you're seeing in green, that outline, will become the Subich property 5150, and it'll be a total of 62.54 acres, whereas on the prior recommendation, the 5150 parcel is at 23.98, so there'll be an addition to 5150 of a total of 38.56. One large linear. Get all those numbers, Bob?
The total was 50 some acres.
Total can be 62.54. That's going to have the address of 5150. He's obtaining the 5.1 acres off of Connors. That's why he is granting 5.1 acres to Connors. That's why. He is actually taking a 3-acre piece off the Doherty property. Again, to be transparent, would have liked to have gotten more. Doherty didn't approve that, but he did get 3 acres from her. And it's, again, just trying to create a little bit more of a buffer, because that's the only way you can control what happens around you is to own. So that's it.
Any comments or questions?
the blue dotted line, that's a separate address that we own. Well,
That's gonna remain 5160.
Okay.
And, but it's gonna go from, what was that, sorry, I apologize. It's
10.95 acres.
10.9 acres down to 2 acres. Just for the house itself. But again, he's going to own that. He's going to continue to own it. Let's say they live there.
Yeah.
He's moving his in-laws there. So he wants his in-laws to have a house near to their pension. So he's moving in there from Johnstown.
Do we do them a favor and not approve?
Yeah.
I love living next
We were
to
all
in-laws.
thinking that.
I love it. My in-laws are great. I'm sure his in-laws are great to do it. So 5160 demo again?
Those first one.
Okay, so 5160, the house in 5160 along Maymont will be demoed. The permit was pulled already. And house similar in nature and size in the same location actually will be constructed. We haven't, those drawings are still underway. Mr. Allison is designing the house on, and he said, the house on 5160 is going to be designed by Mark Allison, the architect. Yeah, roughly the same size as what's there now, just new. Single floor, single story living. The house is also for Subich and his family, is being designed by Mark Allison. It's going to go in the same general vicinity, ultimately, as the former house that was demoed.
Staff, any comments or problems with this? No issues?
No, I'll say.
Planning Commission, what's your pleasure? Chris?
I'll make a motion that we recommend approval, move on to council, S-5-26, the Subich and Doherty lot line revision. So,
Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Good seeing you again. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been. Nice seeing you. Okay, do we have any other business? Staff? What else is coming down the pike?
Signs of excellence.
What signs of excellence? That's the guy.
Site plan on,
What's that?
site plan on Old William Penn and Point Hill. Things to approach.
Okay. And I understand where the chicken people are for the ZHB.
That's correct.
I don't understand that plan. I mean, when I go up to Monroeville and I see a gazillion cars doing a drive-through, 2 lane, yet this plan has all this parking.
It's still not even the amount of parking we require. So
Pardon me?
it's still not even the amount of parking we would require.
Have they asked for a variance on that?
Not a variance. I think the ordinance has the language that we would change the way reduction in parking study.
how many parking spaces do they put in?
I think they have 60 some, but the ordinance is like 93.
Yeah,
Who's parking there?
Absolutely.
I mean, I just, it just seems like all the Chick-fil-A's, they're all drive-through stuff.
Chick-fil-A's, yeah, it takes a path of miracle now.
I know.
You gotta follow the sign.
Okay. Anything else good?
Nothing really.
Nothing.
No.
We adjourn.
Second? Do we hear a second to adjourn?
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Aye.